You ready to let the dogs out?
What?
Do what?
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Join Pet Pals TV's Patty Spitler as we celebrate our furry friends.
Cats, dogs, and all the critters in your family.
Celebrate the bond between pets and people and meet Hoosier heroes saving four-legged lives.
I love it. Good. I'm glad.
It's the Positively Patty podcast.
I can't wait anymore. Me neither.
Now, your host, here's Wish TV contributor Patty Spitler.
And on the Positively Patty podcast today, we've got Amber Hankins, and we're going to be talking about not just TV, not just being on IndyStyle, but Amber is an author. She has a children's book out, and we'll tell you how that involves a poodle. Oh, yeah. We got it all tied in together here. Coming up on the Positively Patty podcast. And now on the Positively Patty podcast, we've got Amber Hankins, and you know that...
Can I give myself a round of applause?
I think you just did.
I think I did.
IndyStyle, she's the star of that. And also, she is now an author. You have a book out. This involves your daughter, and we have to mention, since a podcast is what I do, you got a doggie involved in this book.
I do have a doggie involved, a doggie named Piper. She is Piper the poodle. And she has full of curls, full of curly hair, Patty. Okay. She's super cute.
Now, the premise of this book is you wrote it, your daughter's in third grade now.
She's
everything's
just now in third grade. Everything's good.
Fine. But there was a time, you think, for now, but there was a time that she didn't like her curly hair.
So she has beautiful natural curly hair, and she's had natural curly hair ever since she was itty bitty. And it's a constant frustration. I think, Patty, we can all relate to this. It's oftentimes you want the things other people have. And I look at her thinking, Avery, I would have given anything to have that natural curly hair. Yeah. So when she was younger, I used to tell her a story at nighttime about this little girl who had natural curly hair, and she just wanted to wish her curls away because she just didn't like them. And then things, of course, went awry with every single wish that she made. And then it was, 2 years ago, I think almost to the day, New Year's, you and I were on IndyStyle. I don't know if you remember this, but you had asked me what one of my New Year's resolutions was. And I still have that clip, and I said, to write a children's book. And you said, oh, yeah, because you have children. I said, yes, I do.
That always helps when you have children.
Right, exactly.
So I think also you said we can all relate. We can all relate to the story, too, because whether you're, beautiful or tall or short or whatever it is that you are as a child, you never feel that you actually fit in. No. I told you this once. I have a friend of mine, she's absolutely gorgeous, and she said as a child, kids made fun of her because she was so pretty. So it doesn't, whatever it is that you are, especially when you're a child and you don't know where you fit in and you don't have any confidence in yourself, you want to be like the other people.
You do. And that's the hardest part. And I think that was part of my reasoning and message behind writing this book, because Patty, as a female, you and I both know that doesn't always go away. Yeah. What you feel at 8 years old, I often feel at 38 years old. So I can relate to her in this book, which is crazy, because you think and you want to tell these young girls it gets better or it goes away.
Yeah, right.
But it doesn't always necessarily go away. You just learn how to deal with it in different ways.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Well, when I was a kid too, I should probably remind. Yes, I was chunky, and the kids called me Fatty Patty. But you know what? I kind of knew that later on. Hey, I found my voice.
Yes.
And things from there changed because I thought, okay, I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not this. I'm not that. But I can talk. So, that gave me something to an area to look forward to and to work toward that maybe nobody else could do.
So
I could do something other people couldn't do.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of the premise of this book too, is that, and you'll hear it, or you'll read it rather in the story if you grab a copy of this book, is that while we're wishing to be like somebody else, Patty, oftentimes they're secretly wishing they were like us.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny how that works?
I guess that's human nature, though. We always want to be what we can't be, or we're not, or we want to be something we could never be. I could never have been a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I could never have been on the track team.
But I think it's about learning to appreciate the beauty in what you can do.
Right.
I can't do this, I don't have this, I don't have that. But you do have this. And once you discover the true beauty in it and really how it can be amazing, I think that's where all of us bloom, right? And become really who we are and who we were meant to be. And I think that's something that as people,
Right.
we can all relate to.
Yeah, I guess we have to suffer a little bit before we can
Sometimes.
get comfortable in our own skins. So this book is empowering to both kids and mothers as well.
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Is that who you're appealing to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's mainly for kids, but I think as parents, I wanted to write something, Patty, that as parents, it wasn't just like, okay, I'm going to read my kid this story again, you know. I wanted parents to sit there and take something away from it, especially the messages I have received from women who still have natural curly hair to this day, and Patty, it brings them back. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah, I remember dealing with that as a kid, and I still have frustrations today. So it allowed them, I guess, to rediscover that part of themselves that maybe they didn't always accept, but it kind of brings it in a new light.
I will say, though, it seems in this day and age, things are more accepting now. There was a
Yeah.
time that everybody had to have their hair
yeah.
look a certain way, or they had to look a certain way. And now, kind of like, you're supposed to acknowledge and embrace differences and be more inclusive. So this is something the book does as well. Okay, you don't have a puppy. When are you going to get a puppy?
I would love to have a puppy. You know, I've grown up with puppies my entire life, and this Piper is actually modeled, so to speak, after a friend of mine's a dog. It's one of those doodles. You know, Patty, everything's like a doodle nowadays.
Doodle. And you know why we were talking about that?
Labradoodle.
The poodle of the doodle aspect, and the poodles are so smart. My Mabel is
Yeah.
part poodle. I had DNA done. One side is
Oh,
pure
wow.
miniature poodle. Yep. And the other side is she's a hot mess. But one side it's pure miniature poodle, and they're so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, she is so smart. Whereas Stewie's like kind of goofy.
Right. Well, and it's funny you mentioned because, you know, Patty at first was like, okay, so why'd you put, you know, a dog? And for me, I feel like I try to picture myself, okay, you're 8 years old. What gets to you? What do you connect with? Obviously, other children, but pets, Patty.
Oh,
it's all about dogs.
yeah.
And a dog Piper who has curly hair, just like Avery does.
Does she want a pet? I have connections.
Oh, girl, don't let her listen to this podcast. She would love. It's hard with well, he just turned 3, a very newly 3-year-old. You know, that's
How old is she again?
Well, she's 8, and
8.
Ledger is 3.
Yeah.
Just turned 3. So I
They
got a
have to
busy
be old
house.
enough not just to love on the puppy, but to go out and pick up the poop.
Well, that's just it. She thinks it's all fun and games, Patty. And
Yeah,
so,
there's-
you know, Fido does his doo-doo, and she's not going outside.
When they're ready, you just let me know, and
Yeah.
we'll figure out what. Okay,
Yeah.
something that you're doing now that more and more folks are getting out is you're going out and meeting and greeting folks
Yeah.
and signing. And
I
So
am.
where do people go if they want to come see
Yes.
you?
Okay. So I have a few things in the works. I think the best thing to do is just to follow me on Facebook at Amber Hankins, because I am posting every single book signing / meet and greet / I don't know, maybe I'll be reading at some of the little schools here, perhaps. I think I'm going to do a reading at my son's daycare, at my daughter's school. So, you know, just stay tuned for pictures and things. And then, of course, where you can find the book, kids@heartpublishing.com. But that link is also on my Facebook page. So that's probably the best place to find.
And your Facebook
everything.
page is open, is that correct?
Yeah, it's public, of course, just under my name, Amber Hankins. And I post some stuff on Instagram as well. But again, kids@heartpublishing.com is where you can find it. And then, of course, all the info on my Facebook page as well. Where I'm going to be, I love to meet people. I love to see people. I love to talk to people, as you know. And I like to just pick their brain about maybe what stuck out to them in the book and what related to them, because that is the biggest part of why I decided to do this. Yes, it was a personal goal, but it's also the message of inspiration. And I think that's something that we could all use a little bit of right now.
Yes. Now, here's the big question. What does Avery think of this?
Well, she loves it because, of course, her name is
It's
in
her
it.
name in it, yeah.
And it's her. She's so proud. I actually messaged her teacher the other day, very new teacher. I said, I'm not sure if you know this or if she said anything, but, you know, here's what I did. Here's a book all about her. And she's going to have Avery bring it to school and she's going to read it to the class.
Oh,
I said, I think
really?
Avery will be so giddy because, of course, it is all about her and it's her face. But she talks about, too, I did a video with her on my Facebook page about the book, explaining to kids what it's about and what she was able to get from it.
Well,
as
now this should empower her as well.
I hope so.
This gives her confidence, I would think. Oh, look, not only a book about me, but I can help someone else.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's really great.
Do you know one of the things that her teacher and all teachers do, they first sent home to me was, what do you want your child to learn this school year? And obviously we want academics. Obviously I want to have her better in math and this and that. But the most important thing I want her to learn is to accept other children and people for their differences and to be kind to others, have a nurturing, loving, compassionate heart. And I hope that's part of what this book teaches her as being her mama, what I can teach to her, and that she can ultimately teach to others. It's like that tree that branches out. If it keeps going, keeps growing, one small act can reach so many people.
That's true.
And
That's
do so
true.
much. So
I think
that's the hope.
Well, that's a good hope.
Yeah.
Also, I think tell her, and Aunt Patty said that sometimes if people are obstinate and they can't change and they don't, walk away. Say, okay, I'm done. Walk away. Smile. And if that doesn't work, I always found humor works. Put them down with a smile. Okay, that's what you say. I'm leaving. And then because sometimes you can't fight it. You just have to go, okay, I'm done. Bye.
I've had to do that a few times, Patty.
I bet you.
Yeah, you just smile and you make them wonder why she's so happy.
No, you're a good little actress, let me tell you.
Do what you gotta do.
We need to write a book about.
We should. Co-authors there, Patty Spiller. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh, that would be a
Maybe
good
too much.
seller. Oh. All right, Amber Hankins, again, where do people find you if they want you to come out and
Yes,
speak with
ma'am.
them and buy your book? Where do we
Right,
go?
you guys, easy enough. Just log on to Facebook and search my name, Amber Hankins, Hankins. And then, of course, you can find out more at kidsatheartpublishing.com. Just scroll down until you see Curly Q's go away. Okay, you want me to read you a little snippet real quick with
Yeah. Do a
with
little
the pipe
reading.
room?
One of
Okay,
those.
so this is just part of the
Is this
wish.
your first book, by the way? Is this your first
This
book?
is the very first book
Okay.
that I've
Oh.
ever done. So it's super exciting. So this is just part of her wish that she makes at night when she doesn't want her curly hair. Her wish went just like this. It says, curly Q's, go away. Straight hair, come and stay. Straight as a stick, not curly like a noodle. Anything is better than looking like a poodle. Wait, a poodle? Yep. And then, of course, it goes from there. So that is just part of her cute little wish. And I would like to see when kids read that they can be
Dancing.
and it's something that sticks in their head
Yeah.
and just leaves them with a smile. So
Very good.
There
Very
you go.
good. Okay. Amber Hankins, IndyStyle. You see you Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 o'clock on
You
Wish
bet.
TV and streaming, and you're everywhere, and now you're an author. And
thank you,
I can't wait
Patty.
to meet Avery someday,
I know.
too. That
She
would
is
be
a little
great.
firecracker for sure.
But she is. They say it doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, like mother, like daughter, right? If only I had that natural curly hair.
I know. I wish I had it. Pay good money for these girls. Okay, thank you so much. That's
bet.
the Positively
Thank you,
Patty podcast. We thank Amber Hankins, and we'll see you again on the next show.
Discover more pet-friendly stories at PetPalsTV.com and stay with Wish TV online at WishTV.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and discover more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at AllIndianaPodcastNetwork.com.